Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Gambo here. First of all, let's take a look on the talents I have chosen. Second of all, let's take a look on the major and lesser glyphs I have chosen, and maybe you already recognize it. We are still on the PTR server, pre-patch 6.0.2 for Warlords of Draenor, and level 90 PvP on my Arms Warrior, fully equipped in 550 gear, but some of the gems I have chosen in the past we do not anymore, or it doesn't feel to me here and now with Warlords of Draenor that we would benefit still as strong as we did in the past, especially the pure blue gems with pure PvP power. They aren't anymore as strong as they were in the past. This is how it feels for me, because I mean I did a few games with the pure PvP blue gems and they were okay, but it doesn't feel like the right decision to use them or to choose them, because yeah, it's like I said, it doesn't feel anymore as we would benefit as strong as we did in the past from them. So I have chosen to change some of the blue gems. Instead of them, I have chosen to use some green gems with 2 stats instead of 1 stat on them, and I have chosen to use gems with plus on mastery, plus 10, and plus on crit chance or whatever, plus 10, also plus 10. So plus 10 to mastery and plus 10 to critical strike chance. And the reason why I did so, I have chosen this gem instead of the pure PvP gem is very, very simple. First of all, crit was always a good stat for Arms Warrior, and second at all, mastery for Arms Warrior with Warlords of Draenor will change in a very, very drastic way. In Mist of Pandaria, mastery was not a really good stat for Arms Warrior, because all you get from it was an increased chance depending on the level of mastery you got, that would allow you to trigger with your melee attacks like a second melee attack, but this second melee attack would do only 55% of the first attack. So this was some kind, for me it was some kind of okay, but it was not really a major stat that gave us a real improvement of damage, or it never felt to me like a major improvement like mastery, like crit it always does, or like strength it does. So yeah, it was not the best decision to choose mastery instead of PvP power or other stats during Mist of Pandaria. But in Warlords of Draenor, mastery for Arms Warrior gets reworked in a very drastic way, because right now when you do increase your mastery, you also increase the damage of Colossal Smash, of Mortal Strike and Execute. And this was the major reason why I have chosen to use the mixed gems with plus on crit and plus on mastery, because I also have chosen for one of my talents, I have chosen sudden death, which means that some of my attacks will give me a chance of, I think it's something about 20% to trigger, when they do trigger the chance of sudden death, I am able to use instantly without any cost Execute. And Execute is and always was a good, or somewhere in the past it wasn't really good, but right now it's again a very, very good attack. So I thought it would be the right decision to use this mixed gem, because first of all, like I already said, it increases my crit chance, and also it increases my my mastery, and my mastery increases, like I already said, my Mortal Strike damage directly, also my damage for Colossal Smash directly, and also direct damage for my execute. So I thought this is the way to go, this is the way I want to go, and also this is the way I think it's the best to use. So I chosen to use the mixed gems, and I have to say it feels good. It really does. And I also have to say, or I also should admit that right now it's to be as competitive with my arms warrior as I was in the past during MOP is right now, it's for me it's really hard. It's warrior has changed in some ways that makes it right now for me really difficult to be as useful as I was in the past with my warrior. I mean, sure, I never was as good with my arms warrior as or as competitive as I was with my enhancement shaman, and this is because yeah, I have not as much routine, or yeah, it's the lack of routine with my warrior that I have with my enhancement shaman. So, but I always was a good, not the best, but a good arms warrior. So no problem with that. But in Warlords of Draenor, in the games I did before I start to record this one, I really had some issues. It was really hard for me to be competitive. Yeah, I really struggled in a hard way to be as good as I'm right now, and I'm still don't think that I'm on the level I was somewhere in the past, where I was far more active on my warrior. So yeah, it was not an easy task for me to be as good as you see here in the video. So not bad at all, but yeah, it was not an easy task. First of all, what feels, or not only felt, but still feels a little bit confusing to me, is the fact that we have lost Slam. Slam isn't anymore available as a basic attack, as it was in the past with, or as it is with Mist of Pandaria. Right now, you still can use Slam, but only if you have chosen the talent for it. Yeah, when you have chosen the talent for it, then you will get Slam back. But not only that you get Slam back, Slam as a talent feels and seems to me that it's far stronger than it was, or that Slam in Warlords of Draenor is far stronger than it was in Warlords in Mist of Pandaria. So yeah, it's up to me, it's up to you to figure it out what's better. But also for the games I will show to you, or I will share with you, it was not possible for me to take Slam, and the reason for it is because I have chosen Sudden Death, and Sudden Death and Slam, both skills are lying in the same what is it called, same talent line. So you don't have the freedom to choose or to pick both of them at the same time, because it's like I said, both of them, Sudden Death and Slam, are in the same talent line. And there is also a third talent, Taste of Blood, and maybe you already know this talent from the past, but it's different to what it was in the past, because right now when you do choose Taste of Blood, your Rend will benefit from it in a way that every time Rend is dealing damage, you will gain 3 rage for it, and this is not bad at all. Sounds maybe not much, but could be interesting, especially for PvP, and the way also some survivability abilities or talents have changed. It might be really interesting, trust me. But when you would ask me right now, here and now, which one to choose for PvP, or for which one is the strongest for PvP, oh dear, this is some kind of $1 million question, and it is very difficult to answer. First of all, I have to admit, or to say, I have like zero experience with Taste of Blood in PvP. or slam. The only experience I have for PvP and one of the 3 talents is sudden death. And the reason why I have chosen sudden death is very simple, because every auto attack that we are doing has a chance of 20% to trigger a sudden death, which allows us to use our execute without any initial rage cost, and it will be usable on the target regarding of health level, because normally you can use execute only against targets which have 20% life or less. So yeah, and also you should not forget, right now our execute does benefit from mastery. It's like I said, mastery right now, the more mastery you have, the more damage you will do with Mortal Strike, Colossal Smash or execute. So this was the main reason for me to choose sudden death instead of Taste of Blood or slap. But enough of mastery, of execute and sudden death. Let's talk a little bit more about survivability. Survivability with Warlords of Draenor. Oh yeah, this was a huge challenge for me to make my warrior, or to be as resilient, as tough to kill with a warrior as we were, or as I was in Mist of Pandaria. And the reason for it is very simple. First at all, second wind. Second wind has changed in a very drastic way. In the past, or in the past, it was so that when you fell below 35% of your life, you would heal every second 3% of your life per second, which makes us very resilient and very survivable, because this was passive, and it also worked when you get stunned or in CC and whatsoever. So this was a very good talent to make us survivable or resilient or tough to kill whatsoever. But with Warlords of Draenor, second wind changes in a drastic way, because it doesn't anymore heals you like it did in MOP, so that when you do fall below 35%, you don't get an automatic heal which will heal you for 3% of your life every second. No, this has changed. Right now it looks like this. When you do fell under 35% of health, you gain 10% leech healing yourself for a percentage of damage you deal. So yeah, it still works, it still will heal you, but it's for me here and now it's difficult to say how well it will heal you. Yeah, I mean it's difficult. I mean, when you're not able to do any damage, it won't heal you, and this is so when you are in stun or in fear or whatsoever, it won't anymore heal you like it did in Mist of Pandaria. So hard to say which talent we should choose for survivability: Enrage Regeneration, Second Wind, or Impending Victory. For here and now, I don't know, but I also felt comfortable with Second Wind. So maybe it's not the worst decision that I did. So yeah, we will see what we will get in the future. But for here and now, I'm not sure that I think Second Wind doesn't work bad, but I'm not sure that it's the best talent to choose for PvP. I'm really not sure about that. And also Shield Wall, one of our major abilities to stay alive in Mist of Pandaria, especially in PvP, has changed in a drastic way, or it's not anymore available, or it won't be anymore available in Warlords of Draenor as it was in Mist of Pandaria. Now It's not anymore known to me as shield wall. Now it's shield barrier, and it doesn't reduce anymore the damage as it did in Mist of Pandaria, where by activating it you reduce all incoming damage for the next 12 seconds by 40%. This has changed to a shield, like a priest can give him damage absorbing shield. It will absorb an amount of damage. You need 20 rage to activate the skill, but it also has a far lower cooldown, because right now in Mist of Pandaria, for your shield barrier or shield wall, you get 3 minutes cooldown. With shield barrier or shield wall, I'm not sure how it is pronounced or how it is called on the English client. The cooldown is only 1.3 seconds or something like this. It also get affected by haste, or it looks like it's benefits from haste. So the more haste you would have, then lower the cooldown. But I think a 1.3 seconds as cooldown, it's far enough. So not bad at all. But every time I do activate, or every time I have 20 rage left, I can activate this skill, and it will absorb some amount of damage. I'm not sure how much damage it will absorb on level 100 with with level 100 PvP gear. So can't tell you right now. And you can, as long as you have rage, you can activate this skill over and over and over again. And when you need 20 rage to activate it, but when you have 60 rage, then the extra amount of rage, this 40 points, will increase the amount that will get absorbed by this shield barrier. So it might be, it's like I said, I'm not sure, is it better or is it worse? Right now it doesn't have any more the 12 seconds 40% damage reducement, or the 40% damage reducement over a period of 12 seconds, but it also has any more the long cooldown of 3 minutes. It has just a cooldown of 1.3 seconds, so this is better, but it doesn't anymore reduces damage for some kind of amount of a time. Right now it just directly absorbs some damage. So as long as you have rage, you can activate shield barrier or shield whatsoever over and over again. And this brings me to the point where Taste for Blood could be interesting, because it's like I said, it's a passive skill, and as long as Rend will do damage, we will get always 3 extra rage for it. And together with the amount of rage we will get from doing some auto attacks, it might be very interesting. Maybe also when you do deliver Rend to more than 1 target, maybe on 3 targets, could be interesting. Could be interesting to get to know how effective it would be to have so much rage, and to maybe be constantly able to use shield barrier, shield over and over again. But for here and now, it is what it is. And yeah, sooner or later I will also try to figure it out how effective it will be to use Rend instead of Slam or Sudden Death, especially for PvP. So we will see what we will get in the future, I promise. But enough of talking, I would say. Let's focus a little bit more on the game and what will be in the future. So for here and now, I was able to test, to do some testing as Arms Warrior, as Retribution Paladin, and Enhancement Shaman. And I'm very impressed, and I'm very happy with the way they work, or the way they will work in Warlords of Draenor. And one of my viewers asked me about doing some testing as Unholy Death Knight. The only problem I have right now with Unholy Death Knight is that the Death Knight that I have on the PTR server has no, not really competitive PvP gear. It's one of the classes that only has 522 PvP gear on the PTR server, and maybe you already recognize it. There is no way to buy 550 PvP gear like it was in the past, where there were a vendor. So there is no more vendor where you can buy PvP gear just for money. This opportunity isn't anymore in the game, so could be a little bit difficult to do some testing as Unholy Death Knight with only 522 PvP gear against 550 PvP gear, but also PvP power, and I'm not sure about resilience, but PvP power will change when it comes to Warlords of Draenor. It will work in a little bit different way compared to Mist of Pandaria, and because of that it might work to do some testing as Unholy Death Knight when I do choose to use, instead of PvP gear, PvE gear in PvP, because of the change that will happen with Warlords of Draenor pre-patch 6.0.2. So yeah, maybe it will work when I do use PvE gear, which is slightly better from the item level compared to 550 PvP gear. It might work. It might work. I will try it out. We'll see what will happen. But anyway, yeah, let's focus a little bit more on the game. So, Alterac Valley, one of the lesser enjoyable PvP grounds or PvP battlegrounds for me when it comes, especially to Mist of Pandaria. It was most of the time it was very unsatisfying for me at first, and it took always too much time. It was really unsatisfying, unenjoyable. But this has changed for me. Yeah, I mean, with Warlords of Draenor, it feels more like classic PvP. And during classic, I loved this battleground. It really felt like an epic battle between Horde and Alliance. It really does, and I hope they will give us the great experience from the past back when it comes to Warlords of Draenor and Alterac Valley. And here and now we are fighting a Retribution Paladin, and the biggest issue we will have against the Retribution Paladin is that Shattering Throw isn't anymore available for Arms Warrior, so there is no way to break his bubble. So I decided to take care on this rogue, and this rogue knows what time it is. It's time to kill him. But look at his great mobility. I'm not able to stop him. And this cost me really a lot. I hate it when they do stuff like that, when they are able to escape. Even with the dot of blood buff, which should slow him down, and it did. He was able to escape, and he's still nearly on full health. So he escaped, and now a great 1v1. There he is. Good opener. Time to strike back. Rend, Mortal Strike. Slow him down. Ah, you aren't anymore as confident as you were, little scumbag. Now I got you. Now I got you. Yeah, you aren't anymore as confident as you were in the beginning. And here he tries to run. Run, scumbag, run! But not today, Sansa. Not today. Execute in your face. Booyah! But there is a second one. But the second one has a slightly problem, or a slightly issue. And the issue is that he's absolutely not competitive in his gear against me. As you'll see, I'm able to do very horrifying damage to him. And he was in no way competitive against me. Not in this cheap, what is it? Blue PvE gear, not in PvP. The blue PvE gear he has is, what is it? Item level 490, something like this. So yeah, he got a really hard day against me, equipped in full 55 PvP gear. And also, it seems to be so that they already nerfed with the last patch. They nerfed what was it, the 5-point combo finisher of feral druids, because in the past, in the game where I was playing as Retribution Paladin, it was really concerning. The damage they were able to do as feral druids was yeah, it was really badass. I mean, he was able to nearly kill me. Yeah, I mean, this was the game breaker or the fight breaker that happened when I was fighting as a Retribution Paladin against this feral druid, where he was able to hit me for, what was it, 80k, 85k, and yeah, I got 200k life, so it was nearly a death blow, or it was a hit that took nearly 50% of my life off. So yeah, and I also heard from the forum. I did some research on the forum and heard from other players that it was also so hard and so badass on level 100 in PvP gear. So yeah, this was something that was really concerning to me. Yeah, and yeah, this little feller already died. It was again the feral druid with crappy gear. So yeah, bad day for him, not for me. I'm fine with that. But yeah, like I said, it seems they nerfed the 5 combo point finisher of feral druid, and now it seems to be, or it seems to be more under control. If is this true or not, I don't know. Time will show. That's all I can say about that. Also, what still feels a little bit confusing for me when it comes to Arms Warrior is the use of Whirlwind. I mean, in Mist of Pandaria, I never used Whirlwind in PvP. I don't know why. I never felt like I would need it to use. So yeah. So instead of using or as a rotation filler in Mist of Pandaria, I used Slam. But as you know, Slam isn't anymore available. It's only available when you choose the talent. So now, as a rotation filler, we have to use Whirlwind. And for me, the problem here is that in Mist of Pandaria, Whirlwind never really was, for me, competitive. Yeah, it was just a weak attack. It never did really good damage, or I was not able to do good damage by using Whirlwind. But now it has changed. Now Whirlwind is not only a rotation filler, it's a really good attack. I mean, it strikes, what will it does? It hits any target in the range of 8 yards or meters. So yeah, no matter how many opponents are close to you in a range of 8 meters, you will all of them will get hit when they are in a range of 8 meters. So that's nice. It's not any more limited as it was in the past with Mist of Pandaria, which is absolutely nice. But it also will do, compared to Mist of Pandaria, it will do far more damage than it does in the past. So yep, it is the right one to use as a rotation filler. But for me, this is the challenge here and now. Because it still feels wrong. I still have the feeling like that I have to use, instead of Whirlwind, that I should use Slam. But like I said, Slam isn't anymore available as it was in the past. It's only available when you choose it as a talent. So yeah, that's the point here. And also some other points. Also, you aren't anymore able to use Stormbolt and Shockwave together, because right now they are in one talent line. It's not anymore like it was in Mr. Panera, where you could use Stormbolt and Shockwave because they were on different talent lines. No, right now they are in one talent line together with Ragnarok. So yeah, one of the 3 stun talents or CC talents, you have to pick and to choose which one to use. And also you aren't anymore you won't be anymore able to use Bloodbath and Bladestorm together, because they are also in one talent line. Right now it's Avatar, Bloodbath and Bladestorm that you will find on one talent line. So this makes it a little bit tricky to pick and choose. But sooner or later, I'm sure about that, every one of us who will play and get some routine on his Arms Warrior will get to know which talent he should pick and choose instead of other one, to be still competitive and to get the most benefit out of his warrior. So again, it's up to us to get to know how to get the most or the best performance out of our class. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm getting more and more tired and my brain really feels like shutting down. It really cost me a lot of energy to do this commentary. So before I start to talk even more crap than I already did, I would say enjoy the rest of the game. Make sure to hit the share or hit the thumb up button, or share some love with the thumb up button. Also feel free to subscribe to my channel, and yeah, if you want to know something or leave a comment, feel free to do so. And all that's left to say from my side, because really my brain is absolutely shutting down, and I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that it might be that I'm start to talk in Polish or German and still think that I'm doing English commentary for you. So before I start to doing crap like this, it's time for me to go to bed. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for your attention. Until next time, MrSupergambo.